Unsolved Fantasy Mysteries. I'm Robert Loudpack. Is Papa John's the Papa John ruining the NFL? Is Deion Sanders a salty little bitch? When will Jalen Ramsey come out of the closet? Will Andy Dalton retire next season when he comes to the realization that he was always meant for a lead role in the CW reboot of Firefly? Is Sam Bradford actually a baby inside of an adult body? Is Brett Favre inside of the body of Jay Cutler? Is there body inside of him? Is that body Fran Tarkenton? The blue medical tents on the sidelines. What's going on in there? I feel like players are just taking shits. I feel like they're taking fat shits in the medical tents. There was a fat shit that was dropped during the Colts and the fucking Texans game. Fecal matter the size of Brian Bulaga. Mia Khalifa or the Cleveland Browns. Who gets fucked more? Odell Beckham's been long dicking fat-ass white girls while he's on the IR. Nobody can stop him. Jameis Winston instructs the Tampa Bay Buccaneers team on oral sex. He uses his fingers to practice oral sex. He's getting the team hype on oral sex. Is oral sex a problem in the Buccaneers locker room? And who chews gum harder, Pete Carroll or Brett Hundley? They both chew gum like gum will not exist tomorrow. There's another stick right here. Chill the fuck out. All of this on the next episode of
Where the weight at? Before I ran up in the building talking way back. I stay late night dreaming about the payback. All I wanna do is get rich, hey, 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 yo. I ain't looking for a lick, hey, 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 yo. About to rob 'em for the shit, hey, 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 yo. Want the rollie on the wrist, hey, hey, hey. All I wanna do is get rich,
hey, 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 yo, what up? Piff on the Blitz, welcome to the show, episode 10. I'm Piff, aka The GOAT, aka Drew Trees, aka Benjamin Potson, aka Danny Wheathead, coming off that IR. It's just CBD. Robert Loudpack, aka Klein Chopperfield, aka Cheeto Santoro, aka Alex Bangkok, baby, aka enough AKAs. Who are you? I've always told you who I was, and I've been front and center with you, but I have no idea who you are. I often wonder where you guys are at. Are you in a place where the snow flies? Are you in a place that's warm where the snow never flies? I'm coming to you live from the long dark, where there's moose the size of trucks, and the snow always flies, and it's always dark. But nevertheless. Alright, anyways, week 10, Piff on the Blitz, welcome to the show, episode 10. You might have heard me mention something about Deion Sanders being a salty bitch. Did you guys catch that Sunday? Tony Romo was covering the Chiefs-Cowboys game. He said something along the lines of Marcus Peters, would make Deion Sanders look good the way he tackles. Because everybody knows, anybody who watched football in the 90s knows that Deion Sanders was afraid of tackling. He'll shove you, he'll kick you, he'll push you, he'll try to throw something at you, he'll fucking lay down on the ground and try to trip you before he ever fucking lays a hit. Never saw the dude lay a hit in my life. And it's all over YouTube. It's all over the tapes. What Tony Romo said was fact. It was pure fact. Deion Sanders never liked to tackle. So Tony Romo mentioned it, because people can make sense of that. Football fans can say, oh shit, so Marcus Peters is a lot like Deion Sanders. He might be a good playmaker. He might get some picks here and there. He's probably a good cover guy, but he can't tackle. So weakness. Tony Romo pointed it out, and he used a good example. He used the best example. Besides kickers and punters and maybe quarterbacks, nobody tackled in the NFL worse than Deion Sanders. That's a fact. And I just think it's funny that Deion Sanders would go on national TV, so triggered, and just be like, I've got a gold jacket, Tony, what have you won? Really? Let me take a look at your Twitter really quick. Let me tell you something. I don't trust people who have Twitter. Well, anybody who has Twitter, I don't trust them, right? No, I don't trust people who have Twitter and they use it like this. Half of the timeline, they're Gandhi. The other half, they're just salty. Today will be 100% of positivity, and if it ain't about positivity, I ain't about you. Hashtag truth, hashtag block, hashtag choices. Your best is still inside of you waiting for you to birth it. Stop allowing the enemy to distract you. Push, hashtag truth. And then in between all of these inspirational tweets, he just has clapbacks to people. Like somebody tweeted to him, Prime had to go ride the triplets back and Young and Jerry's back. And he had to reply, it was a $35 million ride, LOL. You know what I mean? Like, you're just... So in between all of these inspirational spiritual messages, you just can't help yourself. You have to, you know, reply with something salty. So let me tweet all day about how, you know, positivity and, you know, look out for others and, you know, but then you want to go on fucking national TV and say, I don't know the address to the high road. I just tweet all fucking day like I do. Get off of it. Get off of it. Life is so much fun if you trust God. Life is so much fun if you have millions of fucking dollars, is what you really want to say. Is what you're really fucking saying. I love this person. I love that person. I'm so positive, but then I get on national TV. Dude, own your shit. If you're going to be a salty bitch, own it on Twitter too. Don't come on Twitter and say shit like, oh, I'm so blessed this morning. You'll be blessed if you're like me. Yeah, because we'll just wake up to $35 million. Shut up. Get off of it. I got a gold jacket, Tony. What have you won? You parented a kid who took a kettlebell to a fucking coach's head. Look it up. I'm not lying. And look up all his other stuff. He's literally on Twitter talking about positivity attracts negativity, but you have to stay positive. Did it? Huh? What? Like, dude, you're a ghost. Like, we can see through it. And you can social media and you can social media it all you want. You can fucking do positive messages all you want. None of that actually matters as much as what you do in real life. And Deion, in real life, you're a prick. And that's just straight up. And those are facts too. Those are facts too. But here's another 101 for you. Pick a role model that you can see in real life. Don't pick a role model through social media. You know what I mean? Have one-on-one conversations with people. Because a lot of this social media is fake. It's bullshit. I mean, did you see this last week? There was like a picture. There's this thing going around. I think Chris D'Elia was retweeting it. There's just a chick just like fucking in a bikini, popping her ass back, throwing that ass back. You know what I'm saying? Giving you a look at them yeeks, right? And underneath the picture, it's just like praying for fucking the victims of this and that. What? So, I mean, this is a thing it's always kind of been this way with social media, from fucking MySpace to Facebook to Twitter to fucking whatever. But it's just getting more and more ignorant. But and this is when it's in my realm, when an athlete, a former athlete comes out and says certain things that he says and acts a certain way, but then all day on Twitter wants to completely be a different person. Who are you? Who the fuck are you anyways? It's like the AOL, the AIM, when you started out and you were like 34 male, single here looking for MILF, but you were like 11. It's just evolved into just more craziness, and it's even seeped into our politics. It's seeped into our sports. It's seeped into our sports. You know what I mean? Fucking Papa John's is seeping. Dude, his fucking pizza, his greasy fucking sweet pizza juices have been seeping into the fucking NFL ownership in the NFL league offices. Like a ooze, like a fucking science, like from a science fiction movie. You know what I mean? Just ruining shit. Oh, my pizza sales, or the reason my pizza sales are down is because of the NFL. What? Dude, the reason your pizza sales are down is because your pizza tastes like ass juice. Stop. And people are eating ass, and that's also a thing. So, we got kids running around nowadays that think Tyrod Taylor's a good quarterback. We got kids running around nowadays that don't even know who Dan Marino is. You know what I mean? We got kids, they're so undeveloped. They don't know how good Jay Cutler can be. Gunslinger. 63 points I got on fantasy this week with him. We got kids walking around, they don't know who Jay Cutler really is. What he can be. What he did. What he was this last week. You know what I mean? We got people, they think Joe Flacco's shit, but he actually went to a Super Bowl and actually won a Super Bowl and then went and bought chicken nuggets in a fucking drive-through Happy Meal. We got kids that don't understand those kinds of things. What it takes to be a champion. Skateboarding in the days off fucking chicken nugget Happy Meals. We're going in the wrong direction with our children. Everybody wants to be the MVP, right? But if it continues, then what's going to happen? 2023, everybody's going to think Deion Sanders was Brian Urlacher. You know, What? That felt good. I have to say, I feel great. I mean, like $1 million. I'm blessed. You know what I'm saying? It always feels great to judge other people, to just drag other people, you know. And if you're gonna do it, own it. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. But anyways, and if you didn't like, if it was too long, you went on too long about Deion Sanders, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't even know who's listening to this shit. If you felt like it was unnecessary, then don't listen. Don't care. You're probably one of those people who like marks their calendar for community meetings, for like neighborhood watch meetings, because you have a list of grievances. I don't care if you just moved into the neighborhood. I don't want to know who you are. Leave me alone. Don't talk to me. I'm building a fence. Hate neighbors. Hate neighbors. Not that much of a people person, just to let you know. And yeah. So, you know, you want to find out who really is Piff. Well, Piff is a guy that doesn't really want to talk to people. But he takes really good care of himself. He has great hygiene, first and foremost. And he likes watching football a lot. And he's trying to talk to you about it, but he's not getting a response. But he's going to continue talking about it, whether or not he gets a response, because he enjoys it. And that's Piff, in case you were wondering. You know, get on the soapbox. Why not? It's been 10 episodes. And if I want to run 15 minutes talking shit, I will. And I don't care. Anyways, week 10, let's move on. Game picks. What did we do last week? We didn't do great. We didn't do terrible. We didn't do great. We were 7-6. Okay? We were wrong about the fucking Bills. They didn't show up against the Jets. We were wrong about the Falcons, Panthers. Panthers got the win. And I keep picking against the Cowboys, even though I'm a Cowboys fan. And I keep picking wrong. They beat the Redskins. They beat the Chiefs now. But all this hype about, oh, they're America's team again. Oh, they're ready. They're on a roll. Dude, if they lose Zeke, it's not the same. Stop. It's just not the same. Alfred Morris is going to be okay, but it's not the fucking same. Stop. These Cowboys fans, I don't really see anybody on our schedule that we can't beat. What? We play the Eagles twice. They're like 8-1. Those are going to be tough games. We play the Falcons. The Falcons aren't just a push. We play the Seahawks. That's not just a push. I think we play Washington again. Not just a push. What do you mean you're looking at the schedule and you don't see a loss? What? Get over yourself. That's another thing, fans. You can be a fan of your team, but be realistic. You're a fucking Cowboys fan. You're just ultra unrealistic from the beginning to the end. And Zeke, you know, he's off suspension. It is what it is. Now he's back, and he's going to be gone again. Who knows what's going on with that? But anyways, on game picks, we're 7-6. That means our record now is 79-51. 79-51, not terrible. Like I said, we were wrong about the Redskins Seattle pick. We were wrong about the Cowboys pick. We were right about the Raiders Miami. We were right about the Lions, of course. Green Bay. Brett Hundley. Dude, I feel like only thing Brett Hundley is good at is chewing gum. I watched that fucking part of the game on Monday night. Was kind of in a panic mode because Marvin Jones was, they were trying to throw him fucking 6 touchdowns. What are you trying to give him? I dropped Marvin Jones earlier in the year. Now you want to try to throw 6 touchdowns to him? What's the deal with that? Who's Marvin Jones? Since when did he become like the guy we're going to throw to every single time? Oh, we're on the 1 yard line. We have 4 downs. We're going to throw every single one of these downs. Every single one of these downs, we're going to throw it to Marvin Jones. Shut up. No, stop. I'm listening to the AM radio, listening to the game on the way to some other fucking shit. And it's just, incomplete pass to Marvin Jones. I'm like, are you kidding me? You're up 27-10. There's like a minute and a half left, and you're still chucking it to Marvin Jones? I just barely won. I just barely won the fantasy because I was like, Marvin Jones creeping up. Of course Marvin Jones would. So, yeah, so the Packers, Brett Hundley, like, no. Draft somebody because he's not the answer. And if you had 2 years in the system and you still don't know what you're doing, you're not the guy. And I don't understand. I don't get the Green Bay Packers backup quarterback situation. Please explain it to me. Aaron Rodgers is not like the mobile quarterback. Yeah, he can take off and he can get first downs or whatnot. But Brett Hundley is really purely a mobile quarterback. Like, he took off at UCLA a lot. But I don't understand. Green Bay doesn't really run that kind of offense. So why? It doesn't make sense to me. So I don't know. Maybe it'll make more sense as the season goes on. But just no, Brett Hundley, no. Not the answer. Bengals quarterback, Andy Dalton, no. Look at his record since last year. Terrible. Move on. Like, move on. Make moves. Don't be the Cleveland Browns. You know, don't be terrible at quarterback decisions. Don't pick quarterbacks that are just, if you're a losing quarterback, you're a losing quarterback. Because take a look at what Goff is doing with a good coach. See, well, wait, hold on a second. Now, the Bengals, is it a coaching issue or is it a quarterback issue? Well, that's a question that's, it can bring on a pretty good argument. Is it a quarterback issue or a coaching issue? It's tough to say. It's tough to say. It's tough to say. Blake Bortles, quarterback issue, big time. Blake Bortles needs to go. Mechanics, terrible, slow. Terrible. And if you're not going to use him as a mobile quarterback, then what are you doing? He's a big guy. I don't know. But I'll tell you this: Eli Manning will be a Jacksonville Jaguar quarterback next year. I think. And there's some other people saying it too. Because Jacksonville has a defense, they have the run game, they probably need to improve the offensive line a little bit more. They just need to get their receivers healthy again. And next year, they can take a big run. They could really take a run at a Super Bowl. It's in their grasp. So if I was them, I would go and find a quarterback. Because the defense is good enough. The run game is good enough. You can pound the shit out of other teams, but you need a quarterback that can at least manage. And who better than Eli Manning? Last time he had a good defense in a run game, he won a Super Bowl. And he beat an undefeated team, the Patriots. And Tom Coughlin is over in Jacksonville, so it makes sense that Eli Manning would go there. It's his former boss. It makes sense. Eli to Jacksonville next year. The Giants need to draft a quarterback. And they should just tank. Go get Sam Darnold. Go get a good quarterback. There's some problems with the Giants team. Their payroll is ridiculous. And the defense, for the amount of money that they spend on defense, and the defense is not... You can't blame the defense when the offense isn't getting first downs. You just can't. So there it is. But game picks, yeah, we didn't do great. We didn't do terrible. What I noticed was the Saints are the real deal. They've had quite a few wins in a row. It didn't look like at the beginning of the season they were going to be the team that they are. But Marshawn Lattimore has emerged. He's the next generation of lockdown corner. Him, Jalen Ramsey. Did you see what they did? Did you see what they did Sunday? Did you see what they did? Jalen Ramsey had fucking AJ Green in a fit. Choking him. Punching him. So frustrated. Ding, 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 ding. You're doing your job. That's the point. If you're a corner, your job is to completely frustrate and take the wide receiver way out of his game. AJ Green wasn't doing anything before the fisticuff, and after he got ejected, he wasn't going to do anything. So Jalen Ramsey did his job. Good job, Jalen Ramsey. You're playing like Josh Norman. Does the same thing to Dez. Dez is so far in his own head when he plays Josh Norman, he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Same thing with Marshawn Lattimore, with Mike Evans. Mike Evans is losing his fucking mind. What did he get, 2 points this week? He didn't do shit. Couldn't do anything. Lattimore and Ramsey, real deal. Next gen, real deal. Marshawn Lattimore, if you ever watch like some of his tape or some of his highlights, his hip work is just so fluid. He knows how to move. He knows how to cover. He's incredible. Rookie of the year, he's got to be in the discussion. Obviously, you've got other people, taking the lead on that. Kareem Hunt, for example. But just take a look at Marshawn Lattimore and what he's doing. It's ridiculous. I respect it. Jalen Ramsey doing a great job. Jimmy Smith for the Ravens, shutting people down. At least the Ravens defense is showing up. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing. Taking a look at the picture, the playoff picture. What does it all look like? What does it mean? Well, the Patriots and Steelers are emerging as the AFC favorites because the Chiefs they're kind of on a downward spiral. The Cowboys handled them. Even if the score was close, the Cowboys handled them. The Cowboys team is balanced. I'll give it to them. They found a pass rush. Their pass defense is holding up enough. And their offense with Zeke is controlling the clock. That's the game plan. Strong team if they can do that. Going up against Seattle, going up against the Saints. If it's a playoff matchup against the Eagles, we need to find out. We need to see what happens when the Cowboys play the Eagles. Because that's going to be the marker in the NFC. The Eagles dominate the Cowboys. The Eagles are going to be the favorite. And it's going to be tough for Seattle to beat them. Seattle's going to need that home field advantage. They really will. Put Wentz under pressure. Dwight Freeney had a good game for Seattle. So Seattle's trying to find a pass rush. But, back to the AFC. Patriots, Steelers. That's where it's at. Now, in the AFC South, the Titans and the Jaguars are fighting for the division. And earlier in the year, when the Titans and Jaguars played, the Titans smashed them, which was interesting. It's two hard-running teams going against each other. The difference is the defense. The Jaguars have a better defense than the Titans. Can the Jaguars figure out the Titans' offense? Can they stop Henry and Murray? I think so. You know, it's getting to the point of the season where Murray's going to be hobbling along. So then you only have to really worry about Derrick Henry. But Tennessee's getting back Corey Davis. Eric Decker seems to, know where the end zone is now. And Mariota's getting healthier. He even leaped somebody this season, this week. Pfft, where am I in time? But I take a look at the schedules of the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Titans. Look at the Titans. They got a pretty nice schedule. Bengals, Steelers, Colts, Texans, Cardinals, Niners, Rams, Jaguars. I give them a win over the Bengals. They probably lose to the Steelers, but that could be an upset. They're going to beat the Colts. They're going to beat the Texans. They're going to beat the Cardinals. They're going to beat the Niners. They might lose to the Rams. And then they have Jacksonville, like week 17, maybe for the division. And I'm looking forward to that. But there's a really interesting race in the AFC South. The Colts are out of it. The Texans, now that they lost Watson, are out of it. It would have been so much more interesting had Watson stayed healthy, because then it would be a three-way race. It would be really interesting. Now it's just kind of interesting. The Titans and the Jaguars both could make the playoffs the way the AFC is setting up, because the Broncos are falling apart. They have no offense. Their problem is in their running game. Their problem is in their offensive line. And the defense seems like it's giving up on them. Just giving up. And so in the AFC, Patriots look pretty good, like I said, because they're a team that isn't just going to fall apart like that. And actually, their defense is going to get better. We'll see what they do this week against Denver. I think the defense shows up. The defense is going to get better. It's going to. Over time, you give them some weeks and weeks and weeks. You give them a bye week. Coach them up. Bill Belichick's a defensive guru. Coach them up. Patriots defense will be good enough to go far in the playoffs. Like I said at the beginning of the year, don't worry about what the Patriots are losing. Don't worry about the injuries, because they're going to be just Gucci. Just completely Gucci. The Raiders aren't shit. The Broncos aren't shit. The Chiefs don't know what they're doing. Andy Reid's going to have, you can put together a regular season all you want. What are you going to do in the playoffs, pal? Chargers are pretenders. Jets are pretenders. Dolphins are fucking hanging off Jay Cutler's sack. Jay Cutler's can only do so much. You get a fucking short pass your way to the playoffs, get out of here. The Bills, they might make the playoffs for the first time in 17 years, but when they get there, they're pretenders. The Pretenders on CBS this Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central. Pretenders. That's what the Bills are. You can get Kelvin Benjamin if you want. You can get a 6'10" wide receiver if you want. Tyrod Taylor can't throw for shit. Buffalo Bills, average quarterbacks since Jim Kelly. Get a Thurman Thomas, get a Jim Kelly, get an Andre Reed, then we'll talk. But the Titans and the Jaguars in the AFC, interesting. The Titans' schedule is pretty easy. They have a better shot than the Jacksonville Jaguars, who have a couple tougher matchups. But I think with looking into the future, Jacksonville and Eli Manning makes sense. If you haven't heard about that, the Giants are falling apart. Yeah, sure, if they get Odell Beckham back next year, maybe they get a good draft pick at running back or another offensive lineman or something, they could be back in contention for sure. But at what point does Eli say, Jacksonville's defense is pretty solid and Fournette would be a nice guy to hand the ball off to? At what point do I want to reconnect with Tom Coughlin and try to win a final Super Bowl before I retire? He might. And it would make a lot of sense. And to me, it would be exciting. I think when Jacksonville and teams like Jacksonville are winning, I like that. I like that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? The Browns make the playoffs, that'd be sick. I'm so tired of the Browns losing. People wonder, there's a lot of people that wonder, why are the Browns so bad for so long? Dude, they're draft picks. They've never made a good draft pick, like ever. And then they do this thing where they trade picks to go get a guy who's trash. And then so the next year, when they go to do draft picks, they have done. They spend it all on fucking Robert Griffin or whoever. I don't think that's Robert Griffin, but whoever. Doesn't matter. They don't know how to draft. And they're into into kind of all this weird shit. With fucking, now they're doing like next gen tech, fucking stats, analytics. So dude, just fucking get a guy who knows what a quarterback is when a quarterback is good. All you gotta do is draft a quarterback, start there, go from there. But Cleveland's not a destination city. It's not a city that people want to go to. You can't lure free agents to Cleveland. You just can't. It smells like tires. Nobody wants to be there. Oh, where do you want to go? Cali? Miami? Somewhere warm? You want to surround yourself with some Hall of Famers? Or do you want to go to Cleveland? Tire fires. Smells like shit. You know what I mean? Shout out to Cleveland. Never been there. Drove through there once. Smell like shit. So, what's Cleveland's problem? You don't have an attractive destination. And I'm just being honest. You can call me a dick. I could care less. It's not an attractive destination. Players don't want to go there. And their GMs and their ownership don't know how to draft. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to hire. You hired a guy who was good at baseball to fucking run your football team? Delete it. Delete yourself. Give the fucking ownership up. Let the fans run the shit. They couldn't do a worse job. Throw fucking 12 fans in the mix. See what happens. See if they can't take them. Why not? Do it for the first time in sports. Let fans run the fucking team. Not like the Packers. Not like this bullshit fake make-believe shit. Oh, Packers own. We're the fans. We own the Packers. Not that make-believe shit. Make the fans actually run the team. See what happens. Because most of the time, fans are at least on with who's a fucking bust and who's not. And when your fans are booing your picks every year, it's not because, they're just disappointed in your pick that year. It's because 20 years passed and you haven't done a good pick. So every fucking pick you're going to do is going to be booed. Let the fans do it. Let the fans run it. Why not? You have nothing to lose. And do a publicity stunt with it. And gain some money. Get some money. Change your fucking uniforms up. Put the actual dog on the helmet. Put the dog on the jersey. It's just brown? It's just brown. The worst color on the palette. Just brown. Oh, what do you think were the Cleveland Browns? What do you think the jersey should be? Oh, just brown? Oh, and then another shade of brown. Wait, no, it's kind of orange, but it's more brown than orange. It's brown, brown, and brown. And throw some white pants in there with a brown stripe. And the helmet will be fully brown. Kind of, but a little bit orange. What? I don't understand the Browns. I'd love to take the team over. I'd love to be the GM. First order of business. Everybody's fired. Everybody step outside and walk away. Go home. You're done. Never coming back again. You have to clean slate with everything. You have to destroy everyone. Destroy everything. Burn everything. It's like I just finished watching Stranger Things. The Browns team is like the tunnel. You just have to go in there with gasoline and fucking light the whole thing on fire. Get 11, come through, close the gate on any orders and transactions they've had going. And that's how you start, and then we can have a snowball, and we can dance around while we pick actual good picks. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? I don't know if that made sense. If you didn't watch Stranger Things, it didn't. But if I was a coach, that's the type of shit I would do, right? And now into the NFC, who are the pretenders in the NFC? Are the Vikings pretenders? Maybe. Are the Lions pretenders? Maybe. I don't know. Cowboys pretenders? Eagles are good. Seahawks are good. We know that. Saints look real good. We know that. But who's pretending? It's tough to say at week 10. We got to go to week 14 maybe, and we'll know for sure. But if you want me to sit here and guess and see who's pretending and who's not, the Falcons actually, with the Falcons, I actually believe they can pull it together somewhat to get a playoff spot. I believe the Panthers are more of a pretending team than anybody. I don't think the Saints are a pretend team. They ride Ingram and they got Breeze and Thomas is showing up. I think they got enough to get to the playoffs. The Cowboys, they're a pretty balanced team. Seahawks are going to be in it, because their division with the Cardinals and the Niners, those are 2 easy wins. We'll see Thursday night. They should squash the Cardinals Thursday night. But you take a look at the Cowboys' schedule down the stretch, it looks kind of tough playing the Eagles twice. Those L's are going to add up. And when they add up, teams like the Vikings and the Bears and the Lions and the fucking Panthers and the Falcons, they're all around that same area. Same type of record. We'll see take a look at everybody's schedule. Figure it out for yourself. You can see for yourself a little bit who's got the easier road to the playoffs. If the Seahawks get the home field advantage in the playoffs, they're going to be tough to beat. Now, they can't find a running game. They still haven't found a running game. But the way Russell Wilson's chucking it up in the air, Paul Richardson's showing up, Jimmy Graham has to stay healthy. If those things happen, they're still going to be a good contender. Now that Green Bay is completely out of the mix and Brett Hundley is only interested in chewing gum, the road to the Super Bowl in the NFC is cake. You got to beat the Eagles. Who would have thought at the beginning of the year if I said, in the NFC, you got to beat the Eagles and you'll go to the Super Bowl? You would have been like, you're fucking stupid, Piff. You're dumb. No, that's what it is, bitch. And that's what I said it was going to be. No, that's not what I said it was going to be. But I said the Eagles were going to be a playoff team, so I was at least right about that. But if I told you at the beginning of the year, it goes through the Eagles. It goes through the fucking Philadelphia Eagles. You'd be like, oh, damn, everybody's got a shot. Well, maybe not. Defense is aggressive. Wentz is playing out of his mind, converting third downs over and over and over and over again. So that's a playoff picture for you. It's really going to get interesting this week. A lot of good matchups. Speaking of which, let's get to the game picks. Week 10. Cardinals-Seahawks starting it off Thursday night. I'm giving the win to the Seahawks, 24-7 over the Cardinals. Drew Stanton? No. Come on. You can't be serious. It'd be crazy to pick the Cardinals over the Seahawks here. Seahawks with Dwight Freeney, their defense is solid. Earl Thomas needs to get healthier, but I think that, come on, the Seahawks can handle the Cardinals. They're going to try to run Adrian Peterson. They're going to try to give him 50 carries again. It's not going to matter. Russell Wilson's going to chuck it. It'll probably be a low-scoring game, to be honest with you. Usually the division matchups for the Seahawks are. I'm going to give it to the win. Yeah, I'm going to give it to the Seahawks, 24-7. Jets-Bucks, giving it to the Jets. The Bucks are falling apart. They have no run game. Jameis Winston's hurt again. Don't know if it's going to be Fitzpatrick against his old team. That would be cool, I guess. I don't know. You ain't going to catch me watching a Jets game unless it's on a Thursday night. You're not going to catch me watching a Bucks game. Don't give a shit. Jets over the Bucks. Saints-Bills, this is a good one because these are two. Who's the pretender? This is the pretender matchup. Saints and Bills. Who's going to win? I'm going to go with the Saints. 24-17 over the Bills. Even though the Bills are at home, I'll go with the Saints. I think Drew Brees' arm overrides Tyrod Taylor's arm. Kids, Tyrod Taylor is a below-average quarterback. Fucking deal with it. Browns, Lions, easy win. Bengals, Titans, giving it to the Titans on their run game, but this is one of those games where, we want to find out what the Titans are really about. Playing the Bengals, we're going to get a good idea. Bengals have a decent defense. I don't think A.J. Green's suspended, so we'll see if the Titans can handle it, because Titans' pass defense isn't so good. That could be one of those games where it's an upset. Bengals end up winning, and you're like, what, huh? Doesn't make sense. I'm going to go with the Titans, though. Packers, Bears, I'm going to give it to the Bears. They're at home. Brett Hundley just doesn't have it. He just doesn't have it. He's not the answer. The Bears' pass defense at home has been great. And Trubisky, there's a little bit of chemistry. He's building with the team. He's throwing more and more pass attempts every game. So I'm going to give it to the Bears at home, 31-28 over the Packers. Chargers, Jaguars. This was a tough one. The Chargers are off a bye. Jaguars are at home. Chargers have to travel. Are the Chargers one of those teams that are just creeping? Yeah, they kind of started off poor, but then all of a sudden the defense found its roots, and Phillip Rivers is tired of being Phillip Rivers, and he turns into somebody else? I'm going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars this week. I'm going to say 30-28. I don't think the Chargers have what it takes. We'll see. Vikings, Redskins, I'm going to give it to the Redskins over the Vikings. Vikings defense isn't as good as maybe we thought it would be. Without Dalvin Cook, Jared McKinnon, he's like a generic version of Dalvin Cook. And the Redskins beat the Seahawks last week. And they're actually playing up against good teams. And at home, I feel like with that soggy weather, the Redskins have the advantage. But now that their tight ends are injured, there's going to be issues with Kirk Cousins throwing the ball. Vikings are going to put some pressure on him, this and whatnot. Go to Chris Thompson. Utilize Chris Thompson. Utilize Robert Kelly as much as you can. Redskins get the win, but it's a slim win. I'll pick the Redskins. 24-17. Steelers, Colts, the Steelers do play down. They do play down, but I'm going to go with the Steelers here, 36-17. Colts are a mess. Their organization is a mess. Andrew Luck's not coming back. Who knows if he's going to stay with the Colts? And what are they going to do about having two good quarterbacks? Brissett's a good quarterback. He needs time to develop. Are they going to trade him away? Is he just going to be a backup for Andrew Luck? I don't know. I don't see it. I'm going to go with the Steelers over the Colts there. Rams over the Texans. That's easy to me. Tom Savage can't do shit. And what is the deal with the Texans signing quarterbacks that haven't thrown a ball since 2011? You got Kaepernick's out there. He's trying to get signed, but of course he's got the court day thing. He's got the court, the trial, everything. Nobody wants to sign Kaepernick, so we're done discussing that because nobody's going to sign him. But the Texans, you're signing guys who haven't thrown the ball since 2011. Bill O'Brien, what are you doing? You are not making the playoffs. It's another wash for the Texans. J.J. Watt. Hey, how's that $100 million you spent on J.J. Watt doing? Yeah, you're really getting a good return on that, aren't you? Oh, he's the most valuable player, all right. Pfft, $100 million, and you don't fucking play more than 4 games a year since he got the deal. 6 games, whatever. Who cares? Niners, Giants, I'm going to go with the Niners. I'm going to give them the first win of the season. They asked Ben McAdoo, what did you tell your team at halftime? He went blank. Fucking, he doesn't know what he's doing. Niners over the Giants, 24-19. Cowboys, Falcons, I got to go with the Cowboys. Finally, and this is the week I pick the Cowboys and they lose. We'll see. But I'm going to go with the Cowboys, 35-31 over the Falcons. I think Julio has a comeback. I think he has a better game than he had last week. I think he starts catching balls again, but I don't think the Falcons' defense can hold Dallas, even if it's just Alfred Morris. I feel like Dallas will be balanced enough to win this game and ride it out. Patriots, Broncos, Sunday night matchup. Broncos offense is just a mess. I feel like the Patriots defense is going to flex nuts this week. So I'm going to give the Patriots the win. And Brady to Gronk, touchdown or 2. Cooks is going to be hard. Yeah, it's going to be hard for them to stop Gronk. They're going to stop Cooks for the most part, I think. They're going to stop Hogan for the most part, I think. Defense is going to be ready. They're going to be fired up to play Brady. But the Patriots will do enough to win. They got a better coaching staff. And they just have a defense that I feel like is going to surprise people this week. Patriots over the Broncos. And then the Monday night game, Dolphins, Panthers. I'm going to give it to the Panthers. You know, Dolphins just, you couldn't beat the Raiders. And the Raiders have a terrible defense right now. I don't see them beating the Panthers, where Cam's probably going to be selfish as shit and run off and get a million touchdowns, because that's what he does. You want my locks for this week? Seahawks are a lock. I feel like the Jets are a lock. I feel like the Steelers are a lock. And I'm going to go with the Patriots as a lock. So there's 4 teams. If you needed a survivor pick or whatnot, tell your boss I said what's up. Fantasy draft. Weekly fantasy draft. Oh, you want that too, huh? You want everything, huh? You don't want a review, but you want everything, huh? All right. Well, who am I going to go for this week before we wrap it up? So this is what I got. I got Jared Goff at quarterback. I'm going to pair him and stack him with Todd Gurley. Against Houston's defense, they're like the 30th ranked defense against the quarterback. They got a pretty good run defense, but, you know, dump it off to Gurley. I'd rather stack Goff with Gurley than stack Goff with Woods or Goff with Watkins or Goff with Cooper Kupp and not know who he's throwing to. So I'm going to go with Gurley. And I'm going to say, you know, if he could put 40-some points on the Giants defense, far better than the Houston defense as far as talent goes. Yeah, what's going to stop him from throwing up a bunch of points this week? So, Goff and Gurley, those will be my 2 gunners. Started off with Jordan Howard. I'll play him against Green Bay's defense. Yeah, Abdullah and Theo Riddick had tons of yards last night in the Monday night game. And I'm just going to say, you know, Jordan Howard gets his yards. Chicago's going to use him. They're going to grind the clock, beat Green Bay with the management. And I'm just going to go Jordan Howard. Fuck it, who cares? Jordan Kearse, wide receiver, Mohamed Sanu, and Sterling Shepard. Those are my 3 wide receivers. Discount wide receivers, cheap. You know, Sanu against Dallas, playing from behind. Yeah, I feel he's getting a lot of targets the last few weeks. Shepard, bad pass defense, bad enough. He's getting a lot of targets. He could get some points. And then Kearse, I feel like, it's his time. Tampa Bay, 30th ranked pass defense, $4,200. I'll try my hand at Kearse. And then at tight end, I'm going to go Kyle Rudolph against Washington. They just haven't been good against tight ends this year. So I'll do Kyle Rudolph. My flex will be Alvin Kamara. Why not? Ride the hot hand. And then Dallas Cowboys defense against Atlanta, which is they were only 2,200. I said, fuck it, I'll take it. Matt Ryan and Julio can't connect. Freeman's not doing that good. Might as well. So there it is. Goff, Gurley, Howard, Kearse, Sanu, Shepard, Rudolph, Kamara, Cowboys defense. We haven't been winning. So start this lineup at your own risk. So you never know what's going to happen. And always, thanks for listening. This was Piff on the Blitz, episode 10. Week 10 is coming up. Hopefully we kill the picks. Hopefully the weekly fantasy lineup is good for you. I don't know. Hopefully your fantasy week is excellent. You're making a run for the playoffs. You can do it. You just got to win a whole bunch of games in a row. But I believe in you. Check us out on YouTube, Rowdy and the Piff. You can like, you can comment, you subscribe to all that shit on YouTube, Rowdy and the Piff, Piff on the Blitz, whatever, type it in. Twitter, you can get at us on Twitter, at Rowdy Piff Pod or at Monster Piff. Okay? So add us on that, whatever. And then we're on the Apple Podcast app. Rowdy and the Piff. Look it up. Shows out on Monday. Shows out on Thursday. Twice a week. 20 shows deep. You know what I'm saying? Review that shit. Review it. Let me know what's up. Ask me fantasy questions. Ask us any questions. Till next time, I'm Piff. This was Piff on the Blitz, episode 10. Out.
Where the weight at? Before I ran up in the building, talking way back. I stay late night, dreaming about the payback. All I wanna do is get rich, hey, 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 yo. I get looking for a lick, hey, 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 yo. About to rob 'em for the shit, hey, 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 yo. Want the rollie on the wrist, hey, hey, hey. All I wanna do is get rich, hey, hey, hey. Now where the hate at?